Hello, everybody. I just want to do a quick video to apologize for not streaming the games recently. It was to do with the internet at first, but on July 19th, my mom ended up in hospital with a severe kidney infection, and she became very unwell. Was rushed to the HDU, which is like one below the ICU. And from Sunday onwards, she just wasn't herself. On the Friday, I think it was the 21st, no, not 21st, like 25th or something, they said there was nothing more they could do for her and took her off everything. And they had said it would be a matter of hours rather than a matter of days or weeks. So I stayed the night that Friday, slept next to her bed holding her hand, and stayed the whole Saturday. But she fought. She fought for 5 days. I think from the Monday, which would have been the 28th, they just put her in a random side room on a random ward, took her off everything, because when she was in HDU, they still had like a thing up with her heart rate and oxygen levels, and stuff like that. So then I knew from that whether I should go home or not. But from the Monday, they put her in a random side room, and even took her off. That was letting us know how her heart rate was and oxygen levels were, and they left her there to wait till she passed away. On the Wednesday, I was there most of the day. I put the elephant my mom, sister, my aunt, made for her. I put her next to my mom, her dog's ashes next to my mom, and little baby Luna that I got for her, put that in her hand so she has something to hold. But that Wednesday, before I left the hospital, I said, I know you're probably staying on, like fighting, because you're worried about my mental health, but don't worry, I've got people around me. What's killing me more is seeing you like this and knowing this is not the way you wanted to go, so if you need to go, go. Left the hospital, got home, and I was actually watching videos from years ago of my mom and laughing, and then I got the phone call saying that she'd passed away, and the way she was when I got there, I think she'd passed just as I'd left, because she had like things pooling, like blood or bruising or whatever here, and yeah, it was quite hard for me to go see her like that, but I had to collect everything, find out what the next steps were, and when I walked into the room, she was laying there, tucked up in bed, not breathing. She was white, and when I touched her, she was stone cold. I stayed there for a bit, getting all the stuff into my backpack. I had somebody met at the hospital, that we exchanged numbers, and he came in with me because my sister couldn't make it. But it was very hard, and she passed on July 30th. Since then, I've just been struggling a lot. I started drinking again, just to forget the images of my mom, not get so angry at the doctor that was fucking lazy, and told her she didn't have an infection when she did. So I was a lot of anger with that. Drinking again just to forget. Helping out friends that needed some help. but I was still drinking. And then on my birthday, which was the 21st, I wanted to get drunk. I wanted to get absolutely leathered, just to forget. And let's just say that happened. I had a lot of mixed shots, one after the other, in like big Jaeger bomb cups full. So that was like at least 4 or 5 shots in one go, one after the other. And I don't remember anything after that. I remember little bits and pieces. But yeah, I totally fucked up there. Pissed off a lot of people. And then on the 24th, I felt quite alone, abandoned, missing my mom, just wanting to feel her love, feel her arms around me again. So I tried to take my life on the 24th. I messaged a few people, sorry. I wrote my suicide note, and just tried overdosing, and I would say that was the closest I had ever been, to not being here. But a friend, she, called the ambulance for me, because I wasn't answering. I didn't want to answer anybody. I didn't want to look at the phone. I didn't want any help. I just wanted to go. Don't really remember much from the paramedics getting here. All I know is that they took one look at me and said, "We need to get you in the ambulance." I'm like, "Well, I need to go grab some stuff first then." I grabbed my phone, I grabbed a power bank, and I grabbed a charging cable. So then I had my phone with me. And from previous experiences, I thought I was just going to be there overnight. But I really don't remember much after that. I remember being in the ambulance. They were blue lighting me to the hospital, and I remember saying, I think I'm having trouble breathing. And I don't remember much. And then I remember waking up, and I must be in a bed in the A&E, and all these doctors and nurses were around me, doing whatever. My arms and legs were held down, so I assume I was trying to fight them and telling them, just save somebody else, not me. And then I remember a nurse saying to me, "I need to ask you some questions." I must have been passing out a lot at that point. I don't even know if I stopped breathing. Because all I remember is one question being, "Do you regret what you did?" And I literally put my head in her face and yelled, "No." That's what I remember. I remember hearing them saying, "Samuel, open your eyes. Samuel, open your eyes. We need to ask you some questions." I don't remember much. The next thing I know, I woke up in an A&E bed. In the morning, they gave me like a sandwich and a drink to have. Then I was told I was being taken to the medical emergency unit. I think that's what it's called. And I thought everything was fine, that I was going to get going home soon. I saw the psych team. We made up a plan, and they said, "We're happy to let you go." So I thought I was going home because I felt all right. But then when I got back to my bed, one of the medical nurses came in and put me on a 10-hour drip, saying that my liver function levels are off the scales, so we need to try and save your liver, because I had fucked up my liver, unbeknownst to me. But as soon as that drip came in, I just felt awful. All the color came out my face. One of the nurses was like, "Are you all right? You don't look okay." And I said, I'm feeling quite sick, like I'm going to throw up. So she got me a vomit bowl, sick bowl. And then they gave me a anti-nausea thing in my cannula. And it was that made me just start puking all over, just puking and puking. They took me up to a short stay unit whilst I was puking. And all I remember is just throwing up and throwing up all night. There were 3 people in that ward, and they didn't get much sleep because I was just throwing up. And they were still giving me the injections and the cannula of anti-nausea, and that just made it worse. Every time I moved my arm, the alarm went off on the drip, so I had to keep my arm straight, and it was awful. They finally said they were going to give me an anti-sickness thing. I'm like, just give me a little bit, because I think that amount is just going to make me continue vomiting. And they showed me little vials, like, just that much, just that much. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And I managed to get some sleep. But I had to take potassium tablets, which tasted like shit. Oh, it was awful. And so they knew when I took those, or I had the IV drip in, to give me some anti-sickness tablets. But I wasn't eating. It was just making me feel sick trying to eat. So I wasn't eating much. Drinking loads, absolutely loads. I just wasn't drinking, just not eating much. And then that was on the Monday. Then on the Friday, they put me on the gastro ward. I was in my own little room, which was good. Because being trans, I couldn't take off my top. And just be in my tank top, because of my boobs. So I didn't do that. But in my own room, I could do that. I was taking off the drips. I was all good. I had a massive cry, I think, on the Saturday or the Sunday, because I had a dream that my mom was sitting in the chair by the window with another chair with her leg up and blanket covering her, and she was sleeping. And I woke up, and I looked towards there, and she wasn't there. And that just made me cry a lot. And I was crying so much that I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was having a panic attack. And one of the nurses was so kind, and she didn't care that she had other patients to give medication to. She sat on the bed, helped me breathe, put the radio on the TV, and that actually helped. And then on the Monday, I was told that they were going to probably discharge me the next day because everything was looking good. But the next day was my mom's birthday. It would have been her 65th birthday. So I said, can I go home today? Because I don't want to be in a hospital on my mom's birthday. I just want to be at home and just do the things that we would have done on her birthday. So he said, okay, we'll discharge you. And since then, it's been quite a hard week, months for me, actually. But yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna be streaming again. I've got all sorts of things to sort out. I'm gonna be moving at some point, so I might wait till after I move and set up a room or something, to stream with. But yeah, I just wanted to apologize, for not streaming, and that's the reason why. Because as you guys would have known from previous streams, she had this alarm on, and when that went off, I would have to go help her out because I was a carer. So it's been very lonely without her in the house. Very quiet. And when they say the quiet is quite loud, I understand what they mean now, because it's just pure silence. But anyways, I've got to get going because I've got to take Tilly to the vets and the taxi's going to be here in an hour. Because somebody called the RSPCA and said she's skinny and she got a lump. And they came by and they insisted I took her to the vets, but I didn't get paid until this past Friday. And the only appointment they had after Thursday would have been today. So I took the latest appointment in the hopes that the school run doesn't interfere with it and I can get her there. And the RSPCA is saying that, well, they might say that they're going to put her down. So I'm hoping not, because she's been the only reason why I've been getting out of bed. But yeah, that's what's been going on in the last few months, so I do apologize. And I've got our celebration of life to focus on, which is October 11th. But yeah, thank you for understanding, which I hope you will, because it was my mom. And I'm trying not to cry right now. Anyways, thank you. Happy gaming, everyone.